Hi, I'm Marina. Welcome to the channel. I know this video may seem a little bit random, but I'm talking about future of work, AI, all day at work. So I'm bringing it to YouTube. And today we're going to talk about how AI is going to make physical work at work, in which you're actually going to have to show up in the office. You're going to have to show up at a location way more expensive than office job. And what is going to happen to the people that work in the office? What is going to happen with their salaries? And the trends that I'm seeing already in technology today and with white collar work, office work, what we call office work. Let's jump right in. Please note, full disclosure, that this information, it's based on my own experience, my own understanding of the market itself, but also having lived in Europe already, having seen some of this happen in other countries. Why? Because when I was in the Netherlands, living in the Netherlands, I quit my tech job. I ran a bed and breakfast, but I was still looking at the tech industry and what was going on with the industry because I was looking to open a different business. And let me tell you what happened. The Netherlands passed a law that said that all work that could be done remotely, employees had the legal capacity to request for a remote job. So meaning like they could make it so that they could request remote work unless the employer could justify them actually coming into the office. The reason why the Netherlands specifically does this is because at the time, my understanding is that they wanted to make sure that people didn't commute too hard. So like imagine if you lived in like a rural part of the Netherlands, you had to go all the way to Amsterdam to work. That was like a long commute, and Netherlands care a lot about the health and well-being and mental well-being of all of their citizens and residents. And so part of the reason was to reduce the commuting and making sure that people are more mentally health and physically health. It reduces burnout in the population if you're commuting less. The stress of commuting is could be very intense, especially when you have to take 2, 3, 4, 5 modes of transportations. So they passed this law. The thing is that they passed this law. And then what happened? So there was a law that said like remote work is great, okay? Similar thing happened in the US where COVID happened and all of a sudden we were all remote. So what happens when remote work is good and you can do it? Then AI came, okay? AI, boom. All of a sudden, all the people that could do remote work were impacted by AI, okay? Different people were impacted in different ways, but you got a combination of AI and remote work, everybody get impacted. So this remote work that you obviously can do from your computer, right? All of a sudden became easier to do. Okay, so now all of a sudden this remote work that you're doing is easier to do. And because of the AI efficiency, specifically in tech, I'm looking at other industries. Let me know if you know other industries, specifically in tech. They decided to say, you know what, we need less people to do the same work, remote work that you used to do. Now, because of AI, you need less people to do the same work, okay? Less people equals layoffs. Cost cutting. All right. So this is why we had all those layoffs. Okay, this is what's happening. Now, layoffs, cost cutting means what? There's more people looking for jobs. They're looking for the jobs. Which means then that now what I'm noticing in the market is that the same job, you make less money. So then, but basically you make less money. And that's when you see all those articles come out that said things like, oh, you know, so-and-so used to make 250K, 300K, 400K, 500K at Meta. Now they're in the market looking for another job and nobody can afford them, right? This is why. Because the same job they used to make 300, 400, whatever, Now in the market is not, they're not gonna get you to pay it unless you're highly specialized. You're not gonna get that much money. Okay, so I'm hearing like back even 3 years ago, I was seeing graduates, CS graduates, computer science graduate from college, not even masters, and they were making close to 100K a year. I used to recommend do a CS bootcamp. Is the quickest way to get to 100K a year. Like, it was the quickest way. Now the same jobs make $35, $45 an hour. I mean, if McDonald's makes $25 an hour, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I don't know if McDonald's makes $25 everywhere an hour, but in some states they do. Okay. So now all of a sudden we have a lot of people. This market is saturated with people looking for jobs. The reason we're not taking the jobs is because they pay less money, okay, a month. People have lives that they want to maintain. People have mortgages, people have bills, and what they're waiting for is for that job that will pay them the money that they need to pay. So here's two pivotal things that will happen, I believe, in the next 2 to 5 years. The first pivot is going to happen is one, oh, by the way, let me just also say, people who are used to working from home want to keep working from home. They don't want to go out in the street and start doing other type of work. It's hard. It's harder there, okay? So what is going to happen? Because there's less people that want to work physical jobs, the amount of money that you get for physical jobs is going to go up. So this happened in the Netherlands where postmen were paying a ridiculous amount of money. Like, I'm talking dumb money, because they would have to be out there in the cold, in the summer, in the spring, in the rain, delivering mail. And mail is like, you know, you have to get out of the truck, you have to walk the block, whatever it is. And these people making bank. And what I'm saying bank is like a really good salary, because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to be out there walking the block delivering mail, okay? So physical jobs, in my opinion, are gonna go up, okay? If there's more risk to the physical, the more money you're gonna get. Unless that physical job could be replaced by AI. So think about it, like, don't think truck drivers. Anything like truck drivers, no. Truck driving is gonna go down, because why? Because AI can do that job. Does that make sense? So think about jobs that are not related to, that are not like motorized or technology wise, that require some type of manual labor or some type of human intelligence. So not truck driving. The first thing, so I said the first thing that's going to happen, physical jobs are going to increase. The second thing that I think is going to happen is that these people right here would realize, the people that are in the market for white collar job, and I hope you can see this, let me check. Okay, so the second thing I was saying I think is going to happen is that these people right here who are in the saturated market looking for white collar jobs, like let's say it's like tech jobs, let's say it's like office jobs, whatever jobs you're out there looking and you feel like you have a saturated market, there's over 100 applicants per job, those people are going to have to realize that they will no longer be able to pay their current lifestyle that they did get to acquire with a high-paying job. They're not going to be able to have it anymore unless they take on multiple jobs. So what I believe is going to happen in the market is that actually these people will realize that, one, become a contractor is highly beneficial, because then you have your own business and you can take advantage of taxes. Second thing, you would have multiple contracts. Which means that you may have multiple jobs. They can cover 20 to 30 hours a week that you'll be able to do concurrently. This will become the norm. The third thing is that any tool or software that would help them do this is gonna be hot. So if you can help people with your solution, with your tools and your software to get this done, this is gonna be the next stage of the future, because people are afraid of relying on just one employer, because employers, remember the layoffs? Remember the layoffs? That was a disaster. People are afraid to just rely on one employer. People no longer want to work 40, 60 hours a week just for one person to then get ditched and being left behind. So this model of working and adjusting their hours based on their season of life, it's going to be highly beneficial for all of us who work remotely and who are in the situation where one job no longer pays for all of our bills. We have to find multiple sources of income. So any tool that will allow us to do this efficiently and easy, this is where I believe the next stage of B2C, hot jobs, productivity jobs, call it future of work jobs, call it future of work tools, that is where it's gonna go. And I love this for so many reasons. Like, the first reason is because what I said is true. It's like, we don't trust employers anymore to not drop us. The second thing that I love this is because I think it's really cool to have multiple clients and use your skills in different ways so that you don't get stagnated. And three, you can monitor and monitor your own hours. So what if for one season, for 3 months, you may just want to work 20 hours a week and have one client? Or what if the next 3 months you feel really productive and you want to have 2 or 3 clients together, or you need some extra cash because whatever, and you can actually do this easily, openly in the market. Okay, this is my rant about the future of work and specifically remote work and how it's going to work in the US. Let me know in the comments if you resonated with you. I mean, I love comparing the different models. I love seeing what y'all think and how this is going to happen. Yeah, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye.